DNS, Domain Name System. In this lesson, we will learn DNS. What is DNS and why we use DNS? Basically, DNS is a network protocol that translates host names to IP addresses. Think about that. If you are going to a website on your browser, here, this is your browser screen, and here you are writing www.google.com. This is host name. But at the backplane, Google has an IP address. For example, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is a basic IP address, but what about this is 203.159.5.2. You cannot remember these IP addresses, so you write www.google.com and this go to DNS, and DNS translate it to IP addresses, and IP address go to the Google's website. And this translation is done on DNS servers. DNS servers has host names and IP address mappings. There are some lists here. They say that abc.com has this IP address. xyz.com has this IP address. And whenever a DNS client a device asks this host names to DNS server, then it replies with these IP addresses. Yes, here I will also explain that DNS is a server client protocol. Here is a DNS server and DNS client. When DNS client asks the host name, writes host name, the DNS server replies with IP address. And to do this, DNS server looks its host name and IP mappings. Let's do a small example and make this lesson more memorable. And here there's a person, here Mr. Surfer. He's a DNS, he has a laptop, and this laptop is a DNS client. Mr. Internet Surfer. And here there's a DNS server, and this is internet, and this is google.com. So firstly, Mr. Surfer writes www.google.com on his browser and send a DNS query. Says that what is the IP of www.google.com. This query includes this question. And then DNS server replies. DNS reply. The IP address of www.google.com is 209.550. And now Mr. Surfer has this IP address, but he don't know. These are backplane processes. And then the computer sends HTTP requests. I would like to go 209.550, and after that Mr. Surfer is on Google. In the real world, all the DNS servers do not have all the IP and hostname mappings, so sometimes they refer to others. Here, think about that we have a laptop here, DNS client, and here is a local DNS server, and here is google.com, and here there is a root DNS server, com DNS server, and Google DNS server. Firstly, the DNS query comes here, but this local DNS sent this to root DNS, and this root DNS again says that I have no information about this. Ask to com DNS, then it sends this query to com DNS, and then it sends that I don't have this information, ask to Google DNS. This then ask this to Google DNS, and Google DNS replies with the IP address, and local DNS sends this reply to DNS client.